Good morning and thank you for joining us today. I'm Jane Morgan, the Investor and Media Relations Manager for Laybuy. Today we are joined by Managing Director Gary Roloff, our Chief Marketing Officer Matthew Haywood, and our Strategic Projects and Growth Officer Alex Roloff, who will provide a company update on our affiliate marketing network, followed by a Q&A session. To ask a question throughout the presentation, please use the Q&A function at the bottom of the screen. I will now hand you over to Gary.
Thank you, Jane, and welcome everyone to this update webinar. Really excited to talk to you today and, of course, to introduce you to Matt and Alex, who will speak to you in a very short order. Look, what we're really excited about is to give you a bit of an update on the early days of the launch of our affiliate program in the UK. Our performance to date is already exceeding our internal projections by some way. Since launch, our orders and general merchandise value are over 5 times our internal month one forecast. As you would imagine, we needed to forecast that to understand what we might have by way of volume coming through the platform. We didn't want to be overly conservative, nor did we want to be overly aggressive. But when you're 5x ahead of what we had planned, we're obviously very, very proud of how that's unfolded. What this affiliate marketing network does for us is provides access to hundreds of retailers through our Laybuy app. It's seamless, they're in-app exclusives, and as you will see when Alex talks through the process for customers, you'll see just how simple and easy this is to use. We already have 160 merchants active on our site, and as I have alluded to in other presentations, our goal is to make 5,000 plus merchants available by the end of our fiscal year in March 2022. So a very good start to this initiative. And what I'd like to do now is pass you over to Matt, who will talk you through what we have been doing on the marketing side of this, and then he will hand over to Alex to talk you through the actual process for the customer. So Matt, over to you.
Cheers, Gary. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you're from. Again, as Gary alluded to, a very exciting moment for us as we launch our affiliate platform and deliver app exclusives to the team in UK and consumers in that market. This is our largest investment from a consumer-facing point of view in the history of the UK brand and business. And it really also is an exciting transition and move to balance out the incredible growth we've seen through merchants and launching new merchants and bringing them to life, but now with a more direct consumer-facing message with app exclusives. This is, as I mentioned, our largest investment. We're kicking off in September. The campaign started on the 6th of September, so we're just outside of the first week, and there's a number of phases. So there's a teaser, phase that we did to our existing base. Then it rolls into 2 phases of launch, both to our existing base for over a month, and then we start to broaden the campaign to go out into an acquisition mode and then into a sustaining BAU mode. So this is an exciting new platform that month on month, as we move forward, we will continue to market and drive engagement from in-app, email, and obviously SMS, text, and engagement across the UK. In this first phase, we are really focused on turning on the over 500,000 customers that we have in the UK that are fans of Laybuy and just increase our engagement through that existing base to really make sure we're expanding and offering them hundreds of brands with an amazing new variety of categories and verticals, everything from travel to fashion, beauty, and pets, and really help showcase that Laybuy lifestyle. So this campaign includes everything, as you would have seen from updates on our website with dedicated landing pages, a comprehensive email campaign that starts with an initial focus on helping educate and give everyone an overview of how to use our new affiliate platform. And then we move into segmented and customized emails where people start to receive more relevant content for their specific shopping and lifestyle interest across all these brands. This is supported with both in-app and SMS campaigns, a comprehensive influencer campaign where we've signed up various lifestyle influencers that represent different verticals and different categories linked to our great new partners, and then across into the first out-of-home campaign. So we're at over 1,000 sites across Great Britain, targeting 4 key cities. And this out-of-home campaign really brings to life the adage of get your hands on more brands. and kind of alludes to hundreds more reasons to shop and still the easiest way to pay. And Alex will touch on that with, how the customer journey is brought to life in that classic adage, and one of the values that we hold true, very much for an easy experience and an enjoyable one. The out of home campaign also has a unique kind of gamification element, where in a couple of the out of home posters, there is a QR code that takes you to a direct link to actually win prizes linked to a Laybuy lifestyle. So across the thousands, of posters, most of them have a QR code that take you directly in to download the app. And as mentioned, there's a few that take you into the opportunity of winning, as part of our launch. As mentioned, this continues through September, and we'll use this as a benchmark. As Gary mentioned, we're experiencing, a greater success in the early days. So using September to really kind of gauge what the rest of the year looks like for continued investment through to the end of this fiscal. So pretty exciting time. And again, very, very much will help shift our focus as a brand and business to aggressive customer acquisition and engagement, both new and existing. So at that point, I'll hand you over to Alex, who'll take you through the customer journey from a product point of view.
Excellent. Thank you, Matt. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining. It's a real pleasure to be presenting a deeper look into how our affiliate product works, and really highlighting the core aspects which are driving the early successes we've seen so far. So as Matt alluded to, the simplicity of the product is really the key driver to the initial and ongoing uptake of the service. For the customer, they only need to access the Laybuy app, explore our shop directory, and select one of the many new brands added from launch, including but not limited to Amazon, eBay, and ASOS. The customer is then redirected to the merchant's website, where they browse the store as normal. So the latest update to our app has brought a new overlay to the shopping browser, enabling the customer to view the details of their virtual card, as well as actually being able to amend and change the underlying payment method. So really bringing the whole experience into that one browser. The customer simply shops the website as normal. The virtual card is automatically populated into the payment field. That was really key for us. So we partnered with an outfit called Filler that handles the injection of the card to make it a really seamless and breezy experience for the customer. Once the details have been auto-filled, effectively the order is completed as soon as the customer confirms that. So this process in itself is actually no different from any other card transaction. Depending on the checkout, Amazon's a great example where you can actually save the virtual card to your account, as long as you're always going through the Laybuy app, because some of the measures that we've put in place to prevent unauthorized use of the card, the customer can go through the checkout in effectively one touch. So it's very, very quick. Over the coming weeks and months, we're also going to continue to refine the service to make it even better. And we're also going to, as Gary touched on initially, we're going to extend the service from 160 plus brands currently to in the many thousands. Additionally, the Laybuy card, which we announced recently, we will be extending that to our affiliate retailers, so customers will be able to use their virtual card both online at some of these fantastic brands as well as in store. So with that, I'll pass back to you, Gary, to give a bit of an update on some of the recent partnerships out of New Zealand.
Thanks very much, Alex. And I'm sure everyone on the webinar today can see that this is a very seamless exercise for our consumers. And part of the reason why we're enjoying this early success is the fact that the team have made this such an easy way for our customers to shop at these iconic brands in the UK. The other thing we wanted to update everybody on was Laybuy's partnership with Super Rugby. Obviously, as proud New Zealanders, we follow the rugby with a passion. And what we have done, if we go to the next slide, please, Jane, we have entered into a Super Rugby sponsorship deals with the Blues, the Chiefs, the Crusaders, and the Highlanders. These are multi-year sponsorship deals. They provide exclusivity for Laybuy as the official partner and exclusive buy now, pay later provider to these clubs. And it allows fans and followers of these clubs to spread the cost of their tickets and merchandise over 6 interest-free weeks payment cycle. So really exciting to be involved in Super Rugby, as we're all probably aware that competition has now been extended and now includes a Super 12 competition. And we're very, very proud to be a part of it and supporting these clubs in our home base. So watch this space as this unfolds with new merchandise sales towards the end of the year. So look, that provides the update for you. Just to recap, Our internal forecasts are we're achieving 5x of those with our affiliate program, and are excited about where that goes next, with Matt's marketing starting to kick in this week, next, and in the future. Obviously, we will continue to evolve the simplicity of our product. That's what Alex and the team are focused on. How do we make this even easier for our customers? And of course, supporting the Super Rugby as we grow into the new season, we'll see Laybuy attracting more consumers and obviously more GMV through our platform. So look, thanks very much for joining us. We always appreciate the opportunity to talk to you, our shareholders, and I'm more than happy to take any questions, Jane.
Wonderful. And as I mentioned earlier, if you want to ask a question, please use the Q&A function at the bottom of the screen. We've had a few questions come through, so I'll jump into them. So Gary, a webinar attendee has asked, so recently Cristiano Ronaldo has returned to Man U and his jersey sales are reaching towards $100 million Australian. How much of this bump has Laybuy captured as a partner of the football club?
Oh, Jane, needless to say, we were delighted that Cristiano Ronaldo returned to Old Trafford. I'd love to say I knew that 2 and a bit years ago, but that would be a little bit of a step too far, I would suggest. But to be perfectly frank, there's 3-day sales total when Cristiano Ronaldo's jersey went on sale were 25 times our daily average. So yes, in answer to your question, we had a significant bump as a result of Cristiano Ronaldo's jersey going on sale.
Thank you, Gary. We've had a few shareholders come through just talking about the share price. So if you can provide a little bit of an update just on sort of the investor relations campaigns and the market awareness and what we plan to do to help that share price.
Yeah, sure. Look, I think as I've said before, we continue to focus on those things that we can control, and that is our GMV growth, active customer growth, active merchant growth, and net transaction margin, all of which is going the right way for us, as I've alluded on several of these webinars. We have a great relationship with Jane Morgan Management. We're delighted that we've partnered with Jane and her team to have these webinars and to connect with our shareholders right across Australia and New Zealand. We will continue to focus on our growth. That's the best thing we can focus on, and let the market decide for themselves what that growth means. I'm excited about where this is going, and we remain on track to achieve our $1 billion in GMV. And I'm looking forward to updating a future webinar on how that's tracking towards middle of October.
Thanks, Gary. And just further to that, I'll add that we will be doing a lot of broker road shows, and we've got a big PR and IR campaign that will be kicking off as well. So Alex, this is probably one for you. So will the UK affiliate program be deployed at scale in terms of partners on the platform by the Christmas trading period?
Yeah, absolutely. So we currently have fantastic coverage for the lion's share of e-commerce with our existing partners, and we will continue to add new retailers on a daily basis to the affiliate network. The way we are doing that is by constantly expanding our partner networks, which host these retailers within it. So we'll absolutely be continuing to ramp this up. I think the early successes is a great indication of the demand for the product. So we will double down on that and make sure that we're providing as much coverage as possible for e-commerce in the UK through our affiliate model.
Gary, I might pass this one to you. So can you talk a little bit more about the affiliate program and what you expect this will do for GMV?
Oh, look, Jane, I think the early indicators, as I've mentioned, being well ahead of our forecast means we're back to the drawing board on what this means for GMV growth. Obviously, what we are seeing is a significant uplift in the UK and a far greater proportion of our GMV coming from a wider spread of retailers. And that's always a good thing for us because that shows diversification, obviously, of GMV and indeed revenue. I would expect that we can see, we've got some internal targets that we haven't made public. We don't offer a forecast, but I'm brave enough to say that the GMV growth we expect to get out of affiliate will be significant.
Thank you. And there's another one that's come through. So what is the status of the company's plans re UK debt facility? Is this expected to be in place before Black Friday sales and the ramp up in affiliate partners?
Oh, definitely. Yes. The facility we have a committed term sheet for. We are now working through the legal process as you do. and that will definitely be, is expected to be in place well before that Christmas ramp-up period. We will certainly give the market further updates once finalised, but that, as I say, is a committed term sheet that we have signed, and we're now working through the legal process.
Thank you. There's one you might not be able to answer, but can you indicate how expenses are tracking and are we on budget?
Yeah, sure. We will certainly provide a more fulsome update in our Q2 results in October, but our expenses are on track and within budget.
Thank you. Another one for you, Gary. So what other countries are being looked to explore to expand this into?
Yeah, look, right now we continue to be laser focused on the UK. We have been very clear that that is our growth engine, and that is the market that we want to continue to focus on, given our position in that market as one of the 3 recognised players in the UK. And we also see a runway ahead of us that is long, given the relative infancy of buy now, pay later in that UK market. So we want to focus on that. Alex and the team have got a big job to bring on thousands of retailers between now and the end of March. And that'll keep them amused, I'm sure, and certainly help us grow the business into financial year end.
Thank you. Another one for you, Gary. So what is your expected timing for achieving 1 billion in GMV volumes? And is this still expected by the end of the financial year, or do you expect it to be sooner?
Look, at this stage, we're still expected by the end of the financial year, and we stand by that guidance out to the market. Obviously, as we begin to ramp up into that crucial third quarter calendar year, we will have greater visibility on just exactly what this means for us. But as I've said, the indications for September are very strong. So yes, most definitely we're standing by our guidance.
Thank you. And just one to the UK. So we'll be seeing much evidence in increased competition in the UK.
Look, no, not really. I think we've been successful up there because we've been there a wee while. We've been up there since 2018 when Alex and I and my wife were up there to start the business. We've carved out a position for ourselves through our brand as being a recognised third player in that market. And without wanting to come across as arrogant, there's probably daylight between us and places 4th, 5th and 6th. We continue to grow our business with an outstanding team in the UK. We've got a marvellous team of people up there who are really doing great things in terms of onboarding new retailers. And of course, this affiliate program just turbocharges our growth up there and in our view, cements our position for what we have been trying to achieve. So we'll just keep focusing on what we're doing well, Jane, and knocking down those numbers.
Thank you. There's one just on the Australian market. Can we hear about that, please? As you obviously also look after how we're running against Afterpay.
In Australia?
In Australia, yeah.
Oh, look, we've always said that Australia is a market that is significant to us for no other reason than we're from New Zealand. And you know, at the end of the day, we might compete vigorously on the sporting field, but we're Anzacs. And, you know, we support each other against the rest of the world. We're in Australia to support our New Zealand retailers who have a presence or ship there. And obviously, we offer our Australian retail partners access to our customer databases in New Zealand and the UK. So I think it's fair to say, though, as I've said many times before, Australia is a red sea of competition. Afterpay, all credit to them, is the dominant player there. And we just want to cement our position as an alternative for retailers and their customers who choose a weekly payment cycle. And that's where our focus will remain.
There's just one on the Australian credit card spend. So in July, it was down 11%. Do you see the buy now, pay later sector influencing this, or is it more COVID and other market factors at work?
Look, I think it's C, all of the above, Jane. I think the reality is globally, consumers are issuing credit cards in their droves. But as I think we'll all appreciate, you know, we're in lockdown here in Auckland right now. And you're not spending the sort of money you used to spend on your credit card when you're at home, getting the groceries delivered and the odd case of wine or whatever it might be. I think it's fair to say that credit card usage in lockdown does tend to come off somewhat. But the overriding factor is that these alternative payment mechanisms like Laybuy are more attractive to consumers because they're interest-free.
Thank you. So there's another one that's come through. So would you consider going the way of Kalana, where you can buy from anywhere? It doesn't have to be a partner merchant.
Look, I'd like to keep our powder dry on where we might go strategically with our product. I have always been of a view that there are certain verticals that we won't be a part of, and some of those are obvious: gambling, liquor, and firearms and ammunition. Once you go down the anywhere route, you expose yourself to customers being able to buy wherever they like. And I'm just not of the mind right now that that is the right thing for our brand or our business, particularly as we want to remain and continue to be a responsible buy now, pay later provider. And that's not just being responsible about credit and affordability risk, it's being responsible about the verticals we offer Laybuy into.
So are there any plans to bundle smaller dollar value purchases into larger repayments?
No.
Easy. And what is your view on some providers talking about buy now, pay later for things like groceries, and how does it fit in within responsible lending?
Yeah, look, that was one of the reasons why I didn't mention groceries. I saw the question come up, Jane. You know, from a moral standpoint, we as a family, when we started the business, and everybody who's come into our company has been in furious agreement that it's just the wrong thing to do to have people buying their groceries on buy now, pay later. And that's not something that we have in our radar, on our roadmap. There's all sorts of arguments to and fro, but we have a value set within the company, and that's a value set that you hold on to and you remain wedded to, because that's the right thing to do for our company and the way we want to be responsible for our customers.
Thank you. There's another one just on the trend of percentage of bad debt to revenue. Do you want to just maybe comment on that one?
Yeah, sure. So look, bad debt to revenue is not a metric that the market uses. We measure bad debt as a percentage of total gross merchandise value, which was 2.4% for FY21 and compared to 4.1% for FY20. And the trend we're showing is improvement quarter on quarter. And that's merely a function of the percentage of repeat customers that we're seeing through the platform. I mean, what's interesting to me with the affiliate program we've just launched, as you might imagine, when it's just gone out to existing customers, 80% of purchases on affiliate right now are from existing customers rather than new. And I'm sure Matt's marketing efforts will see that swing quite rapidly towards 50-50, but we will remain in line with our responsible lending practice through credit checking, etc.
Thank you. Alex, there's one for you. So will the affiliate program lead to onboarding merchants at lower onboarding costs than onboarding merchants normally?
I think when it comes to the information and the data that we're starting to record transactional behavior from our customers and which retailers they are shopping at is really interesting for us and exciting on what we can eventually do with that. When we add a new merchant onto our affiliate program, it's at no cost to us, and we can effectively actually get them live within the same day. I've been doing a bit of work personally on getting some live while the UK business is asleep, and we can get them up and running within an hour. So our ability to onboard new retailers at scale is significant through the affiliate merchant program in particular. So how that affects future onboarding relationships with merchants probably yet to be seen, but I think we can be pretty positive around the transaction values towards some of the retailers and as a whole, and then potentially looking to target those at a later date.
Gary, another one for you. So just about the UK market share, would you like to just comment on where the sort of market share is for the UK?
Look, it's really difficult, Jane, to get a handle on the UK market share. And principally that is because the biggest player in that market is privately owned and is also a bank and a payment gateway. And it's very difficult to strip out the active customers, active merchants that are purely buy now, pay later, and those that are used as a gateway payment provider or in fact a checkout. What I can say is with absolute honesty is that Klarna is a very, very dominant player in that market. I would suggest that we are closing in on ClearPay at pace, but between the three of us, we would have the dominant market share by quite some distance from the other players in that market. Getting tangible numbers, Jane, very difficult given the infancy of buy now, pay later in the UK market.
Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you everyone for joining the Laybuy September investor webinar. Should we have missed any questions, please feel free to reach out via the contact details on the bottom of our ASX releases. We look forward to updating the market in the coming weeks.
Thanks for having us, Jane, and thank you all for participating. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.